I'm George. This is my second year being an RA. I was an RA last year for Webster, which is an upperclassmen establishment. And now I'm an RA here on the fifth floor in case you don't know. I also really like cats, but like not like in a weird way.
We just established you like dogs.
I like dogs more than the cats are fun to watch.
I'm Max. This is my first year as an RA here,
Hi, I'm Lindsay. You probably don't know me. I'm RA in Resnick, which is the upperclassmen dorm. First year there. I'm a junior though, and Steve, I'm a freshman year, so you guys are all really lucky to live here.
I'm Sarah. I'm an RA in an upperclass establishment that Jordan was an RA in, which is Webster, an apartment building on campus. I used to live in Freeburg with all.
Lucky you. I'm Alan. I'm an RA here. I'm a sophomore.
Why did you guys choose first year upperclassmen, or is it just something that they decided? Or did you indicate it in your app?
So when you apply and have your interviews, you can kind of preference. You can kind of just say which one you prefer, but doesn't guarantee either way. For example, I preferenced freshman housing, but then my offer was in Resnick. So you really can get anywhere. But it turned out to be great for me, and I like love my situation, and I work perfectly there. But either way, you can like talk about why you like one or the other, but you can be open to both as well.
Specifically, you felt like as an RA you could do, otherwise you couldn't have done.
My card can get like my key card gets
I was
today.
gonna say that. You get access to all the boards.
I'm not
RA
gonna
superpowers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be an RA next year, and I don't know how I'm gonna deal. Like, I get to ride the special elevator. But I'm more serious now, and it's like giving me a lot of connections and skills that like I don't really foresee getting anywhere else, or like really want to like readily anywhere else. Like you can get really cool people.
It's also really fun, I think, to like work with the student life staff and like all the house fellows, and you get to know them pretty well, and you have one-on-ones and meetings with like your house fellow every week and your CA. And yeah, just like you said, connections that way, and getting to know the adults that work in student life because they're really good people.
Yeah, I was gonna say something along the line. Like the student life network is a good one to be a part of. Like very good connections with people that have a lot of influence in the university. So it's good to have those kind of people on your team.
And like you always know what's going on campus. Like they always tell you about any of like new resources we get or any of the events that are happening. So you're like really well informed about that.
Upperclassmen, you're not required to participate in orientation events, but I still went to House Wars, represent Stever, even though they gave me a blue shirt to wear. Still a green shirt.
Orientation is more fun the second time around.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Less awkward, more fun.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel that you're adequately prepared for your job?
They prepare you, like RA training is just about as good as it can get, but still like just the nature of the job is like very subjective. And yeah,
When/how long/when is that?
RA training. RA training starts
The week before orientation.
yes, it's a week before orientation, and it is all day, every day. It's very thorough, but it is fun. You do like a bunch of like campy bonding things, which
We do
is
like ropes courses
yeah.
and stuff like that.
and it is fun. But yeah, I feel like it prepared me as well as anything could have. But like Jordan said at the same time, the nature of the job is you get things that you couldn't possibly prepare for, and you kind of like, am I doing the right thing here? But as I said earlier, like it's very much a staff thing, and when like 2 or 3, you're talking to your other staff members about it, it makes you feel a lot better about whatever action you take.
Oh, but like if you ever have any other questions about how to like deal with anything throughout the year, you can always go to your like CA or your house fellow too, because like all of the RAs have like one-on-one meetings with either the CA or the house fellow every week. So that's always a talking point for us.
Is it weird being an RA for people older than you? If you're in
At first I was like not really sure how it was gonna work out, but everybody's like super friendly, and I don't really even notice that they're like much older, because I guess upperclassmen, they kind of all like kind of have like the same, not really necessarily wanting to interact with everybody else on their floor, but they're like see you as like not a freshman as well. I think everybody kind of sees each other as not as freshmen, so I don't know. It hasn't been weird for me. I don't know if that really made sense, but I didn't really notice any difference. I don't know about you. You probably have people older than you too.
Yeah, I'm like the second youngest on my floor, I think. But I actually thought it would be a lot more obvious, kind of like Lindsay was saying, but it doesn't really have to come up a lot. I think that what I was really thinking about going into the year was like we're supposed to be in kind of like a role model kind of role, but then these people have been at the school for longer and kind of like know what they're doing a little bit more here. So I thought that might be kind of awkward, but it's really ended up like kind of helping me kind of grow into.
And like, the only issue I ever had with having, I was the youngest in my floor when I did it, is that I had a lot of people who were really into partying and stuff, and they thought that because I was younger, like, wouldn't be able to like stop them. Just like the second night they had a huge party and just stood my ground, and like there wasn't a problem after that.
The hardest part about being an RA?
I think that's different for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last year for me it was busting parties because I didn't like to do that. This year it's like a weird answer. It's because I care a lot of my floor. It's being able to let them fail. I know that by them failing, it's gonna make them a better person. And it really hurts me when I do that. And I'm like, oh, I know you're not gonna get this. I know like this isn't gonna happen, but like it's better if you learn a lesson now than like learn it like years down the road.
I think the like friend and authority figure duality is a tricky one to manage. Because I mean you do want to be residents' friends, and but at the same time, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have to get somebody in trouble, and that's like a difficult thing to come to terms with because you're gonna think like, oh no, now they're gonna hate me forever. Most of the time, it's not really gonna happen like that. So.
I guess for me, going into upperclassmen, I didn't really think my residents would really need anything from me or come to me for things. And then I had one person come to me with like some really deep issues that I didn't really know how to deal with. So I just kind of sat there and like listened and gave my advice, but I wasn't really sure if I was actually helping and like fixing the problem. But then in my one-on-ones with my house fellow, I just talked to him, and he was like, he just told me like, oh, you're doing it right and things like that. And kind of just reaffirmed and like helped me along the way. So it's just kind of like those unexpected times when people come to you and you don't really know what to do, but you just kind of like use your instincts, and it's usually right, like you're hired for a reason because people believe you can handle problems. So yeah, I guess unexpected circumstances.
I was gonna say something similar to what I said about like friendly, but I also think that something kind of difficult is that it's hard to be like physically apart from like where your job is happening. So you kind of feel like you're like there doing things or in that kind of like state of mind whenever you're in your like home area. You're also like at your job, so it's kind of your mental health.
Yeah, for me it's kind of like the same as Lindsay. It's just like kind of like managing your time, just because you never know when something's coming up. So like as RA, sometimes you have to go with a resident when they have to go to a hospital. So like I didn't know that, or I mean like I knew that, but like you just kind of don't know when these things are gonna pop up. So like I had like a lot of homework due the next day, but like I still went, and so just kind of like knowing that you have to manage your time. Oh, and also like I think when Sarah and I were talking last fall, we were comparing like the challenges of like being an RA because we were both in a position. Like for a freshman RA, it's mostly just kind of like making sure that you still have your me time, because like for the most part, like a lot of freshmen will always like seek you out for like help on like anything, and like you give them your phone number, so like obviously they text you like all the time too. But so yeah, for me it was like getting my me time, but I think for Sarah, oh well, for her she was like she needed to like reach out to her residents, mostly because like they wouldn't necessarily go to her immediately for like emergencies, just because like they already had other friends that they were closer to that they would go to instead.
Yeah, it's kind of like sometimes I think that in upper class there's like less of an affirmation that you're like being successful. Like you don't like see the results quite as much. You don't like see the residents coming to you, or like I think it's a lot because you're like more physically separated in the dorm or building, right? So it can be kind of like frustrating at times.
We're talk about some positives?
Being an RA.
Best thing about being an RA?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's great. Like, I like when I'm really sad that I'm not doing next year. I, the people you meet are awesome. Like your floor, like the bonds you create are like such a weird mixture between like being a robot while caring with them and like it's like almost a child, like someone who's so cool. It's like you're to begin like the parent of like an 18-year-old kid. It's great. I'm like 20. No, but it's fun. Like, I love it. It's super fun. Like super duper fun.
One like misconception I had is like when I like applied to be an RA, I thought of it as a very like solo thing, like you and your floor. But it's very much like a whole staff thing. Even like in the job part of it, you know, you call on like staff members to help a lot, you know, just to lean on them or whatever. But also like the RA like pool is pretty much like a hand-picked group of just awesome people, and so chances are you're going to get really close with your staff because I mean it's just you know you're with them all the time and they're okay, I guess. This door's open.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously. The fact that it's just a bunch of quality people that you're around all the time, it's you get a lot of cool friendships.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was gonna say something similar, but also just like the student life staff and like the RAs on other staffs. You get to know like people working in other buildings and like training, and then you have like RA like retreats like mid semester or like between semesters, and you just get to know like a whole bunch of other people in other buildings, not just your staff, and form connections with them too. So that's really fun.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
For me, I guess it's probably just 'cause, like I grew a lot from this thing. It's because like I'm an only child, so like I never had to be responsible for anybody else but me, which was amazing. But like now I'm responsible for like 25 other residents, so like that was a big step, but it was good.